Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Where Am I? Here I am, Epic 7. We're going to talk a little bit about Tamarinne today. I feel like I should have a how to build Tamarinne guide out as of like a year ago, and I don't really have one yet, so I figure now is the best time to kind of talk about her a little bit, tell her about what gear you need, what skill ups you need, and where you can use her. Spoiler alert, it's basically everywhere. So first off, let's take a look at Tam Tam. We're going to cover her Molag Aura first, since I think that's pretty important. Here we go. So Tamarinne actually is insane for Molag Aura. If you have Tamarinne, you should pretty much max her skill 2 and her skill 3. Both of these are absolutely fantastic skill upgrades. They both add a crap ton to her build, and I think pretty much every person in the game that has Tamarinne should have her maxed for skill 2 and skill 3. There's two reasons for this. One being she is literally just the best support slash healer slash buffer slash dispeller slash everything in the entire game. And she will continue to be the best until she's nerfed. I don't think they'll ever put anybody else out that does what she does even close to as good. So there's just really no reason to put the stats into there, because I feel like if she gets nerfed, and I think she's a pretty decent target for a nerf, you'll get them back. And like I said, I just don't think there will be any better than her. Also, skill 1 is not a waste to Molag Aura. I really think putting a couple points into it is worth it. I personally haven't because my guild won't let me. But she's somebody you're using literally everywhere. It's something that's not necessary whatsoever, but I feel like you use her so much that it's worth a couple in there just for like 3 Molag Aura or something like that for an extra 15% attack. Definitely not necessary whatsoever, but I thought I would mention it just in case. Next up, we have her imprint here, and she's got an attack percent imprint. I would not pull for extra versions of her, but if you do have one, that helps out. That's really good for what she does. And her stats. One thing with Tamarinne is she has extremely low base HP. She has really abysmal HP, to the point where flat HP rings and necks are better for her than HP percent. That doesn't mean you have to use flat stats over the HP percent pieces, but it does give her basically double the chances of good HP percent right side pieces of gear. And you will want both a ring and a neck for HP percent. And there's even like, if you have a really good defense percent ring or neck, you could really get away with one of those two if you wanted to, but I would absolutely try to get as much HP as possible. So for your boots, you're absolutely looking for speed. Speed is the #1 priority for boots by far on your thing. I would not use any others, especially since she's not so much for PvP defense. It's pretty much the one place you don't want to use her. So what you're looking for here is main stat, just 40 speed is preferred, level 85 gear if possible. As for the ring, you're looking for HP percent as well. 50 to 60% HP is obviously what you're going for here. Same with the neck, 50 to 60% HP is what you're going for. Now, I pretty much always want to use a speed set on my Tamarinne. She gets a lot from it. She's got a 107-ish base speed. So that gives her a good, what, like 25, 27-ish speed from a speed set, which is just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. So I would absolutely pretty much always force a speed set. And the only way I wouldn't force one is if you have 0 speed sets here, 0 speed sets here, and 0 speed set boots. That's the only way I would not force it, just if you couldn't get those right side stats in. As for substats, you're really looking for anything but crit rate, anything but crit damage, anything but attack. Those are the 3 primary ones you're going to try to avoid. The secondary ones after that, you kind of don't mind if you get, but you don't really like care about too much, are effectiveness and effect resistance. Both of those are good on her, but they're not something you should strive over. Your most important stat should be speed, HP percent, and defense, as her basically entire job is just to kind of survive here. We also have max health HP regen there, so that helps out a ton. So those are basically all the substats. And you can see here, I'm going for HP percent, defense percent on here, and then just some other random filler stats. For my ring, I'm sitting on speed, defense, effectiveness. For my neck, I'm sitting on a lot of speed, defense, and health. For this, speed and health. Speed, defense, health again. And for mine, speed, health, attack, and crit damage. Wow. I need to change this weapon. That's a really bad weapon. But that's kind of one of the points with Tamarinne. She doesn't need your best gear to shine. She actually doesn't need that exceptional gear because you're not going to be using her on your Guild War defense or arena defense, and that's really where you need that gear to shine. So as for breakpoints you're really looking for, with her speed, you have two ways to handle it. One is you need to be as fast as possible without Iseria. So if you do not have Iseria on your team, you really just want to go absolute zoom as fast as you physically can. All you really care about at that point is speed primarily, and then your two defensive subs. But if you have Iseria on your team, which most people do, if you have them, you really do them together, especially for PvP. You then really want to get their speeds tuned together. So you can have a +5/- -5 speed range in arena. So I'll go up to 196 to 206 speed with this set right here. So what I want is to have my Iseria start at 207 speed. So the absolute lowest my Iseria can go, the absolute highest my Tamarinne can go, need to be one off. So there's no chance my Iseria goes after my Tamarinne. So to maintain this, you want 6 speed over 201. So your Iseria at this point has to be 207 or higher. And that is really the only time. Wow. Way to find your Iseria your first scroll through, Mango. That's really the only stipulation of if you need to lower her speed a little bit. And that's why mine is only at 201 right now, is to keep it in line with Iseria so I can have them both at similar places. As for your offset for Tam here, you have a couple choices. If you are not a PvPer, so you're specifically not somebody who uses an arena cleave team like I do, there's videos on that if you want to check it out. You don't really care what your offset is. So you have two choices basically, or three really decent choices, and that is health percent, defense percent, hit percent is honestly okay too, effect resistance is honestly okay too, but in general, if you're not using an immunity set, you will most likely just go for your highest speed substat sets and use a broken set, or use a decent health or defense set. But you absolutely 100% want to have immunity on your Tamarinne if you're using her anywhere in PvP. So I would absolutely try to get that going. And of course, it's a little harder to get an immunity set, but it's absolutely worth it. Like you can see, this is really not doing too much for my Tam, right? 7 speed, 9 health here. It's just not the best, but it's absolutely worth it to use. So we've covered stats, we've covered gear. Let's talk about artifacts now. I personally have Midnight Bloom on mine, but mine's in a very specific time right now where I'm using her to boost up my crit rate of my main cleave DPS. But this isn't going to be what most people use. There's a bunch of options you can do. There are two that really stand out, maybe three. One of them being Wondrous Potion. A lot of people really like this, but I personally don't like Wondrous Potion as much. There's also Megara's Tome. A lot of people really like this as well, but again, it's not one of my favorites. Actually, it is one of my favorites, but it's not my favorite. And the third one, which I don't have in my bags right now, and this is the one I technically use everywhere, but I took it from Montmorency right now. And that is going to be Rod of Amaryllis. That's the one I think is just overall the best to recommend for Tamarinne if you have it. But if you don't have it, just toss her on Wondrous Potion, especially if you don't have any other Dispeller. And if you do have another Dispeller, just toss her on Megara's Tome. I'm trying to find Rod of Amaryllis. I'm doing the worst at searching here, but here it is. And if this ever shows up in the shop, the monthly shop or the 6-week shop now, and you don't have it, you absolutely need to buy it, IMO. It's such a great artifact that really enables a bunch of different healers. As for her awakenings here, this is one where I'm basically an idiot for. She gets really weird awakening. She gets attack percent here, She also gets attack percent here, and speed here. So she gets like the best awakenings, and then she gets not so good ones. I would really recommend getting this last one. I don't have it because I just completely forgot I didn't have it, but I should. It is attack percent, but you do get that base health, you do get that base attack, and it really does add up for somebody who uses this much. I can't even count the amount of times I've lost because I had like 1% less HP than I should have, and it's something I really, really wish I had a while ago, but I just honestly didn't notice I didn't have it built. So as for other really good people for Tamarinne to gear with, it honestly, like, it literally doesn't matter. She is so obnoxiously good everywhere. I also have a bunch of lab guides if you're looking for somebody to use in lab. She camps insanely well, so you can find somebody on your team to use that camps really well with her. I can link it in the description below for you too. And for PvP, you have the Iseria Tam combo. I can show you one battle really quick just to show you here. And you use her literally everywhere. She is a godsend to all levels of players, and it's just gonna keep being like this until like basically the end of time, because she is just that good. So let's do this one battle here. My cleave team is Tam, Iseria, Judge Kisei, Celestial, Mercedes. There's a good chance I lose here, by the way, because my team isn't set up right. But just to showcase what happens, I really should have played against a Dizzy, because the whole point of the immunity right now, most teams have Dizzy, so Dizzy would go first and just hit me for nothing, right? And then we go next and we cleanse it all. So that's why you have to have that immunity. If you don't have the immunity on these two, there's a good chance the Dizzy's on Abyssal Crown and stuns you, and that's really, really, really bad news. So it's just to kind of counter that initial hit. Because you can cleanse literally everything. So we reset Tam's cooldown, we defense break something, and then it's Tam's turn here.
I'm scared. Listen.
To my song. Buff it up. And now they are all dead. Absolutely insane way to cleave. You can use a bunch of different cleavers. That's a subject for another video, but I've got a bunch of videos on this sort of thing if you're interested. I used BBK before this. And that will always boost you over everybody. So super, super insane combo with these two. So yeah, we're not going to show the rest of this because we're going to be fighting this for a while. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helped out. I tried to just spit out as much information as I could on our girl Tam Tam. I think I covered most things. If you have any questions whatsoever, please just let me know in the comments below and I can try to answer whatever I can though. And just note, if you get those defensive stats on her, if you Molag Aura her skill 2, skill 3, she is an unstoppable force in all forms of PvP. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and I'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.